Moonlight Nana.
Hello everyone, I am Moonlight Nana and this is my 45th Medibang Paint Pro tutorial video. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope it can help you start off your first step in your digital art journey. In the previous tutorial video, I explained about the show details and the open versions dialog, which are these icons. So we're supposed to move on to the next and final icon, which is the open versions dialog that relates to the Medibang Cloud service. Okay. However, when you click on it, this window will show you an empty content. Look at this item selected here. It is Manga. Thus, manga projects should be shown down here. Unfortunately, I do not have a manga or comic saved here, and in order to do so, you need to know about them first. Therefore, I have decided to explain to you about creating manga or comics first before we cover this final icon of Medibang Cloud Service. Please take note that to explain the basics of creating a manga or comic project up to explaining the open versions dialog will take several tutorial videos, and they all will be under the category of manga and comic project. For this Medibang Paint Pro tutorial video, I will introduce you to opening a new project for comic or manga. If that's clear, then let's start. There are two ways to create a new work as stated here. Clicking on File and then selecting New or New Cloud Project. For this time, we will use the first method. So let's head over to File and then click New. This window will pop up. I have already explained about the standard way to creating a new project or work for this. Okay, back in the Medibang tutorial 4. You can check it out from the link in the description or the card at the upper right corner. Since we'll be creating a comic or manga project or work, then let's go ahead and select the comic type. Okay, this comic type have different items and settings. We'll go through it one by one, okay? The first item is the template. The template is the guide to picking what type of paper size you are going to use for the comic manga. In its drop-down menu, there are many options to pick from. We have doujinshi with different paper sizes and DPI, manga with different paper sizes and DPI, yonkoma, and USA comic. Let's check out the difference between them. First off is the doujinshis. Doujinshis are like manga, but their main difference lies in whether they are an independent published works or via established publishing companies like Shueisha, Kodansha, and Shogakukan. Notice here there are two paper sizes options for doujinshi, which are A5 and B5. These paper size are the most common and popular paper size to publish or print out a manga or doujinshi in Japan. So go ahead and pick any which you'd like. For drawing doujinshi, I usually pick the F5 size with 350 dpi. The other settings are usually automatically set once you pick a template, but I'll explain them later nevertheless. Just that I'll make sure for this one I'll make sure the background is white over here, so that you can see the paper more clearer. For now, let's click on OK to see how each template will look like. So here's how a standard page of doujinshi project would look like. There are thin blue lines in the page and some out here. These blue lines within the page are known as the save line, finish line, and bleed. I'll explain about them later. We just focus on the types of templates first. Okay, next is the manga type. Okay, take note that in this bracket for manga it's stated manuscript, different from the doujinshi that stated finished. Let's see what difference it makes. Okay, so this is how a manga manuscript looks like. The blue line frame appears to be smaller than the doujinshi one, right? And there is a margin outside of the outermost frame around here. So why is it like this? Since this is a manga manuscript, it will follow like the real manga page template. A real manga page manuscript will typically look like this. Okay, so there are these little numbers at the outer frame used for measuring when drawing manga traditionally. Of course, there must be this safe line, the finish line, and the bleed frames too. Then the rest are just extras and depends on the designs of the companies that distribute these pages. But for the digital template, there are no numberings in the auto frames and those extra stuff. Probably because the numbering measurement isn't needed, since drawing digital manga allows more freedom for making mistakes, which can be easily fixed before printing, and that the extra stuff depends on the artist. So that's it for the manga manuscript template. Let's check out the next template. Okay, so we have the yon comma. Okay, there are only two types, the one with the title and the one without the title. Okay, I'll pick the one with the title first and then click OK. So this is how a yon comma looks. Yon comma is a comic style that have only 4 panels and they are used to tell a super short story, usually comedic in nature. The uppermost box here is the title box. You write the title here. If you pick a yon comma without the title, then this box isn't included. The way to read a yon comma is from top to bottom. The next column of panels will tell another story scenario. Okay, then finally we have the USA comic. This template suits comic pages like Marvel and DC. Okay, looking at this comic page template, it seems that it has more height and less width as compared to the manga or doujinshi. Also, the American comics have much bigger pages than the Japanese manga. Those are among the differences between the USA comic page and the Japan manga page. If you are into drawing comics that lean more towards the USA style, this comic template is for you. Alright, so those are the basic comic templates for drawing manga or comic on Medibang Paint Pro. The doujinshi, manga, yonkoma, and the USA comic. Okay, then we'll move on to the next item, which is the manuscript size. This one, it is automatically set when you select a template. For example, I pick the doujinshi template, then here will automatically be set to do not add a margin outside the bleed line. But if I pick the manga template, then here will be automatically set as this. So what is this manuscript size item? Simply put, it makes the canvas look like a real manuscript template, like the image I show you just now, which is this one. Inside the inner frames is where you put the actual drawings, while the outer parts are just the extra stuff. And you don't draw anything here, unlike the doujinshi that you don't have this extra space. Your drawing will be filled in the whole page. Okay. Of course, you can choose the not to follow the automatic setting. You may choose other options available here. These options determine how big or small the frames of the blue lines will be on the selected template. You are free to choose, but it is wise to follow the automatic setting for the template you have chosen. Alright, the next item is the resolution. It is also automatically set, but you can pick other options. Here, the only options are 350 dpi and 600 dpi. These are the ideal dpi to use for drawing comic or manga, but you can still type in the number of dpi, if you want. Like for example, I put here maybe just 100. And then so yeah, you can manually set it. The safest DPI to use for drawing a manga or comic that you want to print out is between 300 and 350 DPI, which is actually quite big already. And if you just want to publish your comic or manga online or digitally, then DPI lesser than 300 will suffice. Next is the background color, which you can choose either transparent here or white. White is like this page that you see on screen right now, while the transparent one would look like this. Okay, so this is the transparent. And it's up to you which background color you prefer. Okay, now we've come to the part about the finish line, the safe line and the bleed. So what exactly are these? They're so widely mentioned when it comes to drawing, manga or comic. Let's take a look at this canvas. Okay, I've put guides here so it's easier for you to identify them. The first blue line, the blue line frame from within is the safe line. Whatever you draw inside of this frame will definitely come out in print and be easy to read. The second frame, the second blue frame line is the finish line. Okay, you can still draw here, but be careful about what you draw in here because there is a chance that the printouts will cut off this area or that it becomes harder to read due to book binding. The bleed is the area outside of the finish line frame, which is the outermost part of the page. This part will definitely be cut out when you print the page for publishing purpose. So please be aware. Okay, when you draw a manga or comic with intentions to print and publish, make sure that all the important parts of the drawing and text is within the safe line, which is inside here. You can still draw within the finish line, but be cautious because the book binding might interrupt the reading experience. And definitely be noted that the bleed, which is this red area, will be cut off when printing. It's there to remind you not to overdraw the page. These blue guidelines are visible now, but when the pages are printed out later, the blue lines will not be printed out. So don't worry about the blue guidelines spoiling the comic or manga art. Alright, so now that's clear, let's go back to create comic window over here. Since you know about the finish line, the safe line and the bleed, you'll know what to decide for the width and the height of the measurements. The unit for measurement is centimeter, cm, and it cannot be changed. The width and the height of these lines are automatically set when you pick a template. Okay, and then so you don't need to think much of what number measurement you're gonna put in here, but check with your printing shop about their format or template for the finish line, safe line and bleed. If they're different from what is automatically set in this window, then you're gonna have to come up with another measurement to put in here that suits the printing shop's condition for printing. As for the bleed, it does not require a width and height measurement and that its unit is in millimeters. That's because the bleed is determined by its value on the finish line. The values are also automatically set when you pick a template, but you can still input your own value number like this, 15 for example. Okay, then we have the frame width item. This one can only be activated if you use the yon comma template. Okay, where's the yon comma? Over here. Alright, so the frame width refers to how thick the panel lines of the yon comma you want to set. Okay, a higher pixel value will make the panel box, how do I say? Not this. A higher pixel value will make the panel box thicker and then vice versa. You may also refer to the unit measurement over here in terms of millimeters at the side to help to determine the thickness of the panel. Okay, next is the spread or cover page item. This one is if you want to draw on two pages at the same time. Also used to draw the cover page. Okay, so let's check it out, but first I'll pick another template, not yon comma. So I'll pick a doujinshi. Okay, and then let's click on, we tick on this spread cover page to check out how it would look like. Okay, so this is how a page spread looks like. There are two pages side by side. The blue guidelines still remain to help you plan out what is going to be printed out. Okay, and finally is the spine width, which can only be activated if you tick this spread or cover page item. The spine refers to the side of the book that binds the book together. Its measurement is based on how thick the book is going to be. So let's try putting it at 20 millimeters. And then, alright, so here is how the page look like when we set the spine width. The spine is in the middle between the two pages over here. So say we're publishing a book, then the format would look something like this. The cover page over here is where the title is displayed, and then there'd be some attractive arts in front of it too. Okay, the spine in the middle here will have the title of the book displayed. Okay, the back cover will be some text like the synopsis of the book or what the book is about. Also can have minor arts that complements the art at the cover page. Alright, so there you have it, the whole create a comic settings. Most of these are automatic once you select a template from here. But it's good to know what each item does and its function. Now you are ready to start drawing a manga or comic on Medibang Paint Pro. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial video of Medibang Paint Pro. Please like this video and subscribe to Moonlight Nana channel or follow me on Facebook. Together we help each other out in our art journey. Have a blessed day ahead, everyone.